I'll slide over for you.
Hiding behind me, eh?
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. And a very happy Easter to you all. Sorry, I'm a little throaty this morning, but it'll go away. I must say it's very nice coming back up a tunnel as opposed to disappearing down one.
Ian, let me ask you something. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Funny you should say that. Yes, it's etched on my brain.
I loved hearing your panel, hearing you talk about it, and hearing that scene was one of your favorite scenes in the entire saga. Because what I love about Palpatine is he can be so sickeningly, sweetly, such a father figure when he needs to be.
That's right. But underneath all that, yes, there lurks other motives. Yeah.
It's interesting to me because it would be so easy to just play Palpatine as this straight-up dark, over-the-top villain, but you really do have this way of bringing moments of feeling and sweetness to these lines.
Yes. And it's all his technique, of course. He's very good, you know. If you want people to do things for you, you are initially quite nice to them. And you offer them the best while really giving them the worst. And I was very fortunate because, you know, I didn't know anything about the prequels, nor did George. When I did the first film I was involved in, Return of the Jedi. But then I suddenly discovered that Palpatine, rather than just being a solid block of evil, had a past life. And George said, when we met for the second time round, he said, well, this guy you're going to play is a little bit like you. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. He'll just look a little bit like you, but he'll be easily identifiable as a hypocritical politician, you know. I wonder who he meant. Anyway, that was a good start off. So as a hypocritical politician and a hypocritical human being, he had to be nice to everybody. And he had to have a smile on his face every now and again. But one of the best things that George said to me when we were doing the prequels, he said, just imagine that your face, Ian's face, is a mask over the monster's face. And that was fantastically helpful. Not that I did anything particular, but every time there was, you know, a smile or a glint or a pleasant remark, underneath was this monster motivating nothing but bad.
So you've played Palpatine at different times in his life, as you were just talking about. We've seen him as a senator, we've seen him as the chancellor, we've seen him as the emperor. Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite Palpatine?
That's a difficult question. Yes, I suppose it has to be the Emperor, once he's all-powerful and has...
Because you get a throne.
I won't do it in the full voice, otherwise I'll never speak again. Once he has unlimited power, which, of course... is unlimited power! There it is! And I hear that phrase every other day. From other politicians who've worked their way up to the center of the universe.
What is the biggest, you know, talking about, I obviously am quoting the Emperor to you. Everybody here is quoting the Emperor to you.
Yeah.
What is the request that you get the most often?
Do it! Yeah, we can't. And if you're not inviting someone to kill another person, it's fairly good advice, you know. Don't just sit there. Get on with it, you know.
40th anniversary.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest celebration ever. How is it feeling for you to be walking around this year?
Well, it's great. I mean, it's a big thing, and some of you will have seen the panel we did on the first day, and it's full of great surprises for everybody, really. I knew that Harrison was likely to show up, and I knew that George was going to make an appearance. Thank goodness. I mean, how could he stay away? 40th anniversary of his genius, really, is what it is.
Absolutely.
And then I knew, of course, that we'd be talking about Carrie. But it was wonderful the way that was staged. It was great to see her daughter, who's a wonderful actress in her own right, paying tribute to her mother in sort of a mother's way, serious and also funny. And then a surprise to all of us, except the great musical composer himself. The curtain swished back and there was a huge orchestra, which I understand is the Orlando Philharmonic.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Conducted by the great John Williams himself. And I said to everybody backstage, who thought up that idea? And they said, no, John contacted us and said he wanted to do it for Carrie and for the 40th anniversary.
Absolutely. Well, Ian, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for coming to another celebration, hanging out with the fans. We absolutely love it.
Good to see you.
Ian McDiarmid, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon. More Star Wars Show Live coming up in just a minute.
Great.